Alright, so as we're now officially into Daredevil Born Again, as we have already got the first two episodes, and so far this show is off to a great start, so especially for what we're about to be in store for, with Matt, who is setting up to justice, and with Wilson Fisk keeping, who is now mayor, starting off strong, especially with the action and the violent tone that they're bringing to the show. And now, even for what I'm about to break down in this video, with these two main characters that are going to be returning in the show, as we're about to be getting season 2 for what's about to be in store towards the end of season 1, and that is with Foggy and Karen are officially returning, and what could this mean for the upcoming season 2 of Daredevil Born Again as well. So that's what I'm going to break down for you guys right here in this video. And so, if you're new, then be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. But now, let's hop right into it. And now, that this will include spoilers from episode 1, including the opening act. And so, if you have not seen it, go watch it and come back to this video. And now, especially within the opening act of episode 1, for where we see Matt, Karen, and Foggy going out to eat after a good day of doing lawyer work at their firm. And as if something bad is about to happen, because when Matt that now has to take care of taking out Poindexter Bullseye, and then with Foggy that dies after being shot by Poindexter, and it just ends up in a real tragic way that now traumatizes Matt, that now he has to stand up for what he believes in and suit up as Daredevil once again. And even with Karen, that is now out of the picture because of the 1-year time jump that she has moved to San Francisco now, with the gang that is all separated, and now with Nelson and Murdoch and Page that no longer exists, and now because with Matt, and that now has this new firm with his attorney Kirsten called Murdoch and McDuffie, so doing new law practices. And even with Matt, that's now look up to Fisk at the end of episode 1, because he now has to suit up as a Daredevil because with a bigger threat that is still out there, and now with Fisk, who is now rising up to power and becoming mayor, set up to justice for his friend who is now dead. And now, especially as it was confirmed like a couple of days ago after episode 1 came out, and I think this is coming from a Phase Hero interview with Braden Davis as he interviewed Brad Winterbaum, and here's what I have to say about season 2 and with these characters returning.
When you say there's no story without Karen and Foggy, is that, how do we do a story without Karen and Foggy? Is that really where we're going now?
Without going into spoiler territory, I will say that both Deborah and Eldon are coming back for season 2.
Oh.
And just like saying that, because we've seen in this entire show, because especially after the first 2 episodes, that Matt is going to deliver justice, stand up for himself. And now with Fisk, who is now mayor, and for how the civilians of New York City are now, how they are reacting, and now it's going to cause so much chaos. And now with Muse, who's like the new threat out there, and with the Punisher that's about to come into play, especially with the tattoo coming from that guy's left arm at the end of episode 2 with that apartment fight scene. And now I believe for where I think this series could land, as especially towards the end of season 1, what Matt is going to be in for, because especially as we're going to see him suited up as Daredevil, and as we've seen in trailer footage, he's going to be taking out so many bad guys, and that of Fisk, that is now mayor of New York City, he's now made a vigilantism illegal, and now where does a Daredevil come into play after all of this, and especially of dealing with not being a vigilante for Matt. It's going to be so hard for him, because now with Fisk, who's now rising up to power. For what I'm about to explain here is that what can this mean for Daredevil Born Again Season 2? And now, I'm thinking that towards the end of season 1, as I think we're about to get some big reveals that are definitely going to play like a big role, especially in season 2. And even with the confirmation of Foggy and Karen are going to be returning in season 2, and even with people that are asking, how is this possible? Foggy is dead. And now, for what I think this is going to play a couple factors into this, is that number 1, Foggy comes in as flashbacks, because for what we see throughout film and TV shows, we see dead characters coming back as flashbacks, and I think, I mean, we're going to see Foggy coming back in flashbacks, but like not like undo his death. But I don't think that is the case, because they just undo what they did, and to not leave an impact on the fans. I mean, especially with Foggy's death at the opening act of episode 1, has definitely felt an impact on us, the fans that truly fell in love with these characters, especially within the original show. This is suggesting that this can be a fake out death, suggesting that in the source material that Foggy joins witness protection, and how is Matt going to react now that his friend is alive after surviving a gunshot wound. There's going to be a continuation storyline in there, so I'm just hoping that they do it right. Even with a character like Foggy, which everyone fell in love with him, especially within the original show. Let's face it. I mean, Foggy is dead. You can't just rip off the impact that has left. I could definitely see where this is going, especially for what kind of details that we need to know about for season 2. It's going to be dealing with something much bigger, because from what we've seen from season 1 and how the end of that first season it's going to go into for what's going to be next, so what's going to be served as a main story point. I think it can definitely go a definite bigger route. I mean, Matt is going to need Foggy and his care more than ever, because with Matt, that is definitely going to be having flashbacks of Foggy in season 2, because so especially with their friendships as attorneys running their own firm at the time in the original show was so precious, and the way that the light has shed on their chemistry, how it can be felt on Matt, but now his friend is now dead, because especially for anyone that has been on Matt's side, especially for everyone that he has ever cared about has been in danger because of Matt as Daredevil is suited up fighting his own enemies. I can definitely tell within the original show, they definitely have left an impact, especially with the type of people that Matt has dealt with, aside from Kingpin and with Bullseye and with all those other people. So Matt is got to be dealing with much bigger stuff, because he is more traumatized, and that because he has now a new love interest. I'm pretty sure things are not gonna go easy for Matt because of his a superhero role as Daredevil, but he's got to be very careful out there being a vigilante and all that stuff, because even with Karen, that plays another huge factor into this as well, because especially as we saw these three together at the end of Daredevil season 3 finale when they have opened up their own firm, I think Matt is definitely going to have to turn to Karen for help and advice, because that's gonna be a huge role, because Matt is gonna have to stand up for something that's much more bigger than him. I definitely see this happening, because even with Karen, and that is now coming back, and I think we're gonna see flashbacks of Foggy mostly, but and I mean, I don't want it to affect the plot and the story, and not too many flashbacks, because for what we've seen in movies and TV shows, they tend to do that a lot in a way that's not going to impact the entire show in general. So that's where I stand by that. But I definitely think within the upcoming episodes, we're gonna see Matt in the most brutal way, or in the most a beaten way, and that's gonna take him to soar through bigger heights, a much more grander and bigger scale, because especially for where we're gonna see Fisk playing through all this, and I think Matt is definitely gonna be standing up for justice, and Fisk, he's now a more powerful man, and especially with all the Muse stuff that's about to come into play, he's now the main villain, and from what we've seen and from what we've heard, especially from the cast and crew and from the Marvel TV executive, they're taking this story and the show to a big violent route that we've never even seen before. So yeah, I think this show is about to get even bigger, and I think season 2 of Born Again is going to be even more crazier from what we're seeing here, especially within season 1, because even though we only got the first 2 episodes, I think much more is about to be cracked wide open, and I think we are definitely in for a good start with the show, and even though that we got a confirmation of Foggy returning, and especially Karen, and that's a like a big confirmation out there out of the blue. We were expecting this. I thought we were going to expect it during the season 1 finale, but I'm glad that this is being brought up now because one, Matt is going to deal with as we head into future episodes. He's going to be dealing with more threats, especially as Daredevil, and I can definitely see going down a big road for Matt, a much tougher road for him to deal with as well. So yeah, I mean, with my final thoughts on this, I think with Foggy coming back, he's definitely coming back as in like a physical form, but I think in like a flashback, but kind of like, I don't know, the same that Hugh was before before he was dead. I could definitely see like going for that look or like something from the original show, but I don't care how they do it. Just like do it right without like ripping off the band-aid or like erasing the impact that it had on fans, especially like, I mean, I like cried. I was in emotions when he died within the opening act. I could definitely tell like this is about to be in like a more violent route than ever before as well. But let's get to it first view. Just let me know in the comments below and what your thoughts on this with Karen and Foggy returning for Daredevil Born Again in season 2. I mean, especially with the confirmation of our two main characters, for how it's going to help and serve Matt in any shape or form. Just let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to notifications about future videos. And also follow all my social medias, all linked down below. And with that, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.